Chosen one. Today, you are standing at an important crossroads, where decisions that appear small may open an entirely new direction for your future. I do not say this to make you panic or believe that everything depends upon one fragile moment, but to remind you that the time has come for you to stop walking through life unconsciously. There are seasons when you are permitted to observe slowly. Seasons when you must wait patiently, and seasons that require you to rise. Look directly at the road before you and choose with awareness. You are now in such a season. The quiet urging you have felt lately, the sense that your life cannot continue as it has, is not merely a passing thought. It is a reminder that the deepest part of you has recognized an opening door, even though your eyes cannot yet see everything that lies beyond it. I know the world has repeatedly caused you to doubt that calling. Former failures tell you that you are incapable. Judgments you once heard tell you that you are unworthy. Long periods of waiting have made you believe that every opportunity has already passed. But, my child, delay is not always rejection, and a winding road does not mean you have lost your direction. Some things need time to become strong enough before they can be placed into your hands. Certain doors did not open earlier because you needed to be prepared to walk through them without losing yourself. If what you desired had appeared while your heart was still dependent upon recognition, you might have used the gift to prove your worth rather than serve its purpose. If influence had arrived too soon, you might have allowed applause to guide you instead of wisdom. Therefore, the years behind you have not been empty. They have quietly built within you the capacity to carry something greater. Look back, and you will see that you have survived things you once believed you could never endure. There were nights when you went to sleep with heavy eyes, not knowing where you would find the strength to rise the following morning. Yet you still stood again. There were relationships that broke apart and made you believe your heart would remain closed forever. Yet you learned to trust again, though with greater caution and depth. There were doors that closed before you and made you feel rejected. But later, you understood that entering them might have caused you to exchange your peace for a place that never truly belonged to you. Those trials were not sent to destroy you. They sharpened your discernment and taught you to distinguish between what sparkles but is empty and what appears humble but carries lasting value. You are no longer someone who easily believes every promise. Nor are you willing to sell your peace merely to experience a sense of belonging. Your past is therefore not a locked room in which you must live forever. It is like the stone foundation hidden beneath a house being built. It may not be the part everyone sees, but it is what enables the structure to stand when powerful winds arrive. Your wounds taught you compassion. The times you were misunderstood taught you not to judge others too quickly. Your losses taught you to value sincere presence. The seasons when no one noticed, your efforts taught you to do what is right without needing praise. All these things are becoming a maturity that money, status, and fame can never purchase. Therefore, do not be ashamed of the roads you have traveled. You may not be proud of every decision, but you can still be grateful that those experiences taught you to live with greater wisdom. What I want you to understand today is that the future is not built through dreams alone, but through choices that agree with the person you are being called to become. You cannot pray for a peaceful life while continuing to open the door to things that fill your heart with chaos. You cannot desire a new beginning while clinging to old habits merely because they are familiar. You cannot enter freedom if you always need everyone's approval before daring to live truthfully. Transformation often begins through actions that receive no applause, refusing to answer a pointless argument, leaving a disrespectful relationship, completing the work you have delayed, keeping a promise to yourself, or setting aside quiet time to reconsider your direction. These actions may not create an immediate sound, but each small decision is placing another stone upon the new road. Perhaps you are still asking, how will I know which step is right? Look at what a choice produces within you. The right choice is not always easy, but it usually brings greater clarity after you move through the initial fear. The wrong choice may appear attractive, but the closer you move toward it, the more you must justify yourself, hide the truth, or betray the values placed within you. Do not listen only to sweet promises. Observe the kind of person you must become in order to possess what is being offered. If an opportunity requires you to live dishonestly, harm others, or surrender your dignity, it is not a door you need to enter. If a road requires patience, learning, responsibility, and growth, do not leave it too quickly, merely because it is difficult. Some mountains do not appear to block your path, but to raise your eyes toward a wider horizon. I also want you to stop waiting until you feel completely fearless before you begin moving. Courage does not mean that you never tremble. It means that you refuse to give your trembling the authority to decide for you. You can take the first step without seeing the entire journey. You can begin with what is already in your hands. Even if you do not yet possess every resource, you can remain faithful to what you know is right without receiving everyone's support. Sometimes, guidance does not arrive in the form of a complete map. It resembles a lamp that illuminates only enough of the road for the next step, so that you learn to trust gradually instead of trying to control the whole future. If you demand to understand everything before taking action, your need for safety will become an invisible cage. But do not confuse urgency with haste. I am not telling you to rush into every opportunity because you fear missing out. Pure guidance does not manipulate you through panic. It may urge you forward, yet it still leaves enough peace for you to think clearly. Take time to examine your motives. Are you choosing from love, or from the need to prove something? Are you moving forward because you are being guided, or because you are running from emptiness? Are you saying yes because you are truly ready, or because you fear disappointing someone? Honest questions will protect you from calling an impulsive reaction destiny. A good future does not have to be built upon imbalance. It may require sacrifice, but it will not require you to abandon truth, kindness, and wisdom. My child, a new season is approaching, not only to change your circumstances, but also to reveal who you have become through everything you have endured. You will find yourself speaking less, but your words will carry greater weight. You will no longer chase everyone in order to be understood. You will learn to maintain boundaries without bitterness, to forgive without restoring someone's power to wound you, and to love without losing yourself. The things that once caused you to collapse will no longer control you as they did before, because you have now seen that you are capable of rising. This is the true breakthrough, not merely receiving more of what you desire, but becoming mature enough not to be controlled by the gift when it arrives. Therefore, make today meaningful through one sincere decision. Do not merely declare that you are ready. Choose one action that proves it. Put down what has completed its season. Finish what you have delayed. Apologize when you know you were wrong. Refuse what no longer belongs. Begin learning the skill you will need for the new door. Let your confirmation be written through the way you live. not merely through a number or a temporary statement. Your future is not activated by an empty ritual, but built through faith joined with responsibility. I will support you, but you must still walk. I will illuminate the road, but you must open your eyes. I will remind you of your worth, but you must stop returning to places that continually make you forget it. Move forward, my child, not with the arrogance of someone who believes they will never stumble, but with the calmness of someone who knows that even if they fall, they can rise again. What awaits you is not a reward for perfection, but the result of a heart refined through hardship that has continued to choose what is good. The door ahead will not open to turn you into a stranger. It will allow the truest parts of you to become more fully present. Let your past become a foundation, but do not turn it into the roof beneath which you remain. Carry the lessons, but leave the shame behind. Remember the times you were supported, but do not live forever in fear that the support will disappear. Today can become a turning point, not because an external declaration determines your entire destiny, but because you have chosen to answer the inward calling with courage, wisdom, and a faithfulness that is no longer easily shaken. The change, capable of reshaping your entire life, may not arrive gradually. It may appear suddenly after a long period in which nothing seemed to move. You have become accustomed to recognizing change through visible signs, a small opportunity, a relationship that slowly improves, or a door that opens in a predictable way. Yet the greatest turning points rarely follow such a rhythm. They are often prepared in silence, behind repetitive days, prayers that have not received clear answers, and efforts you believed were producing no result. Then a moment comes when everything that has been quietly accumulating passes beyond its former boundary, and what remained motionless for years can begin shifting within only a few days. I want you to understand this so that you do not use the slowness of the previous season as evidence that your future must also unfold slowly. Some periods are permitted to continue for a long time, not because you have been forgotten, but because the foundation beneath you must become strong enough to support what is coming. When you look back, you will realize that the most important changes in your life did not always announce themselves beforehand. One encounter may open an entirely new direction. One small but decisive choice may end years of inner conflict. One revealed truth may cause you to view your whole past with different eyes. What surprises you will not only be the speed of the change, but the sense that every missing piece had already been waiting to return to its proper place at the same time. In truth, the transformation did not begin on the day you could see it. It began through every quiet choice to do what was right. Each time you rose after disappointment, and every night you preserved hope without visible evidence. The visible part arrived only at the end. Just as water is heated little by little, but boils only when it reaches a particular point, your journey has absorbed a great amount of the heat of growth before producing a movement that others can recognize. Therefore, if the previous months made you feel as though you were being held within a place that was too narrow, do not assume that this is the final conclusion. Stagnation may sometimes be the compression that occurs before a great door opens. Yet I must also remind you that an open door does not mean everyone will walk through it. Some people pray for an opportunity for many years, but when it appears, they fail to recognize it because it does not resemble what they imagined. Others long to be released from their former life, but when familiar things begin to fall away, they panic and try to hold on to them. It is not because they are unworthy or because goodness has rejected them. It is because certain places within them remain unhealed, causing what is new to be mistaken for danger. What you have awaited may be drawing near, but your ability to receive it depends upon whether you possess enough peace to recognize it. Hold this question within your heart. What if the final obstacle is not the door ahead, but the hidden place within you that still needs restoration? You may possess faith, perseverance, and a deep desire to enter a new season while still carrying reactions formed through pain. When you have been disappointed repeatedly, you learn to distrust even what is good. When you have been abandoned, you may begin to view closeness as a threat. When you have had to care for yourself for too long, you may find it difficult to believe you can receive help without surrendering your freedom in return. These reactions once protected you during a particular season, but if you remain unaware of them, they may prevent you from touching the very thing you prayed to receive. I do not condemn you for these protective mechanisms. I only want you to see them honestly, so that what was once armor does not become a prison. Recently, the inner movements within you may have become clearer. Your dreams may have grown more frequent, carrying powerful images that cause you to awaken with your heart still beating quickly. A dream is not necessarily a prediction, but it may reflect emotions, fears, and desires that you have not taken time to hear during the day. Instead of panicking or assigning an absolute meaning to every image, calmly notice what remains within you after waking. Does it cause you to face something you have been avoiding? Does it remind you of a decision that must be made or a wound that needs care? I do not want you to be led by an obsession with signs, but neither do I want you to dismiss the gentle voices bringing truth to the surface. You may also repeatedly encounter familiar words, recurring numbers, or similar reminders appearing through different circumstances. The important thing is not to turn every coincidence into a command, but to allow such moments to make you pause and notice what is taking place within your heart. When a theme returns many times, ask what it is awakening: courage, forgiveness, a new boundary, or a responsibility you have delayed. Discernment does not make you dependent upon external signals. It helps you mature until you can distinguish what produces deep peace from what merely feeds anxiety. I want you to walk with awareness, neither superstitious nor desperately searching for confirmation, but also not closed to reminders that may help you return to what is genuine. Alongside these movements, you may notice a natural desire to clean, organize, and simplify your environment. You may suddenly want to remove possessions you no longer use, rearrange your room, bring certain old relationships to an end, or rebuild your daily rhythm. This may be the way something within you seeks order before entering a new stage. When the mind is preparing for change, the hands often begin arranging the surrounding world. You do not need to destroy everything or turn cleaning into a fearful ritual. Simply understand that spaciousness outside you can sometimes help create spaciousness within you. When you release what no longer serves your present life, you send yourself a confirmation that the past no longer has the right to occupy every available space. Perhaps you have also become more emotional, sometimes finding tears rising because of very small things, or for no reason you can explain. Do not be ashamed. And do not assume that this tenderness is weakness. A heart that has been forced to remain hard for too long often needs to thaw before it can receive love, responsibility, and joy. at a deeper level. Tears do not always come from sorrow. Sometimes they are how accumulated tension finds its way out of you. Certain emotions were postponed for many years because you did not possess enough safety to feel them at the time. Now, as a new season approaches, what was held back is beginning to be released. I do not want you to suppress these emotions merely to preserve an appearance of strength. Allow yourself to feel, but also know when to seek support if those emotions become overwhelming. Maturity does not mean that you never cry. It means that you learn to listen to what your tears are trying to say. The sensitivity that has made recent days feel empty may actually be softening you enough that you will not destroy something good through old defensive habits. A heart that is too tightly closed may receive a gift but not know how to preserve it. A mind that remains in a constant state of battle may stand before peace and still search for danger. Therefore, I am teaching you to receive without questioning everything, to rejoice without waiting for the next disaster, and to enter what is new without carrying every fear from the old days. A blessing requires more than an open hand. It requires a person healthy enough not to push it away. When the turning point arrives, you may not have much additional time to prepare. This is why the preparation is taking place now. Through small things that appear unrelated, one honest conversation, one changed habit, one cleared room, or one pain that is finally given its proper name. All of these things are making you ready. Do not become impatient because you have not yet witnessed the great event. Remain faithful to the quiet restoration, because that is what will determine whether you can remain steady when everything begins to move quickly. You do not need to force the turning point to happen. You only need to stop resisting the process that is making you spacious enough to receive it. I want you to move forward with an awakened hope. Do not chase every sign, but do not dismiss the inward prompting as meaningless. Do not attempt to control the entire future, but organize what is presently in your hands. Rest, heal, clear the crowded places, and learn to believe that goodness does not always have to be purchased through suffering. The long and quiet season may be nearing its end, and when change comes, you will understand that no day was truly wasted. Every slow step helped build the strength necessary for the moment of transformation. Therefore, do not fear the suddenness of what is new. I have been preparing you in silence for longer than you know. And when the door opens, you will not merely see it. You will possess enough wisdom, peace, and maturity to walk through it. Listen carefully. My child, the season of living beneath the fear of scarcity was never meant to continue forever. And I am leading you into a new way of life in which provision is no longer merely something you beg for through tears, but becomes a flowing river opened through faith, wisdom, and faithfulness. Before going deeper, I want you to step away from the hurried rhythm, pulling your mind in many directions. Let these few moments become a confirmation that you are ready to leave behind your former way of thinking, ready to stop viewing the future through the lens of difficult days, and ready to receive guidance for managing the good things that will be placed into your hands. You do not need to prove your readiness through great declarations. You need only carry a sincere answer within your heart that you desire renewal, that you wish to learn how to live without being controlled by financial fear, and that you want to become someone capable of receiving without losing humility. I know the nights when you lay still while your mind remained unable to rest. You calculated your expenses repeatedly, wondered how everything would be managed, and often hid your worries so others could not see them. There were days when you continued working, speaking cheerfully, and completing your responsibilities while inwardly feeling as though you were standing before a closed door. You looked at numbers and allowed them to decide how much hope you were permitted to have. You delayed good plans, not because you lacked vision, but because the resources in your hands were insufficient. I saw each time you sacrificed what you wanted in order to care for someone else. Each moment you chose patience instead of complaint. And every occasion when you tried to remain upright, even while circumstances placed you under pressure, none of these things has been forgotten. The years of struggle are not a sentence over your future. And the scarcity that once appeared in your life is not your true name. Yet you need to understand that the provision toward which I am leading you is not a promise that allows you to sit still, abandon responsibility, or wait for a miracle to replace diligence. I do not teach you to pursue money until you are exhausted, but neither do I tell you to neglect the abilities and opportunities already placed in your hands. A river of abundance does not flow so that you can stand and watch it. It flows so that you can learn to direct the water toward land that needs to be nourished. When I open a door, you must still possess the courage to walk through it. When I give you an idea, you must still nurture it with discipline. When I bring a valuable connection into your life, you must still respond with sincerity, reliability, and wisdom. Provision does not remove your responsibility. It releases you from the false belief that every result must be created only through anxiety and strain. What I am preparing is greater than merely adding more money to your account. I want to transform your entire relationship with sufficiency. Some people receive much and still live in fear because inwardly they have never escaped the memory of scarcity. They continually worry that everything will disappear tomorrow. So they either hold on too tightly or spend impulsively in an attempt to fill an emptiness that material possessions cannot heal. I do not want you to enter the new season while carrying the mindset of someone who is always afraid of losing. I want you to become stable, so that when you receive more, you will not become proud when you must wait longer. You will not panic, and when an opportunity appears, you will not hastily exchange your highest values for it. True prosperity is not measured only by what you possess, but by the peace with which you use it, the wisdom with which you make decisions, and the generosity with which you share. You once believed that if you had enough money, every problem would disappear. But I want to give you a more complete picture. Some financial doors can remain open only after you have learned to manage your time. Some opportunities become blessings only when you know how to establish boundaries with those who continually take advantage of your kindness. Greater resources can be entrusted only when you no longer make decisions from impatience. Therefore, while you pray for increase, allow me to expand your inner capacity. Learn how to record, organize, restrain yourself, and distinguish between genuine needs and temporary desires. Practice saying no to what drains you without producing anything valuable. Care for the gift you possess today, even if it appears small, because the way you treat what is little will reveal how ready you are for greater responsibility tomorrow. You will then recognize that provision may come through more paths than you previously imagined. It may appear as a timely employment opportunity, an awakened creative idea, a mentor who opens your mind to a new perspective, or a wise decision that helps you avoid loss. Sometimes provision comes through a door opening, But at other times it comes through a door, closing to protect you from an attractive choice carrying painful consequences. Do not limit help to one particular form and then become disappointed when the answer does not arrive in the way you planned. I see the entire road, while you see only one section. What you call delay may be something being arranged to arrive at the proper time. What you interpret as rejection may be protection. A great turning point may begin through a very small instruction that you could overlook if your mind remains too noisy. I also want you to release the shame connected to difficult financial seasons. The fact that you once lacked resources does not make you inferior. A wrong decision from the past has no authority to lock your entire future. You can learn again, rebuild, and begin again with greater maturity. Stop punishing yourself for what you did when you did not yet possess enough understanding. Look directly at the lessons and accept responsibility where necessary. But do not turn responsibility into condemnation. I am not calling you to rise only so that you can repeatedly kneel before former mistakes. I am calling you to move forward with clearer eyes, more careful hands, and a heart that is no longer threatened by the past. Restoration does not merely return what was lost, it also gives you wisdom so that you do not repeat the cycle that once exhausted you. When your resources begin to increase, remember their purpose. I am not bringing you out of scarcity so that you may become obsessed with accumulation. I want you to possess enough to live with dignity, care for your family, nurture worthy dreams, and support those who need a sincere helping hand. You are not required to rescue the entire world, but you can become an answer to a specific need placed upon your path. Generosity does not have to begin with great amounts. It begins when you value what you already possess. Share within healthy limits, and refuse to allow money to become the master of your heart. When you preserve this spirit, increase will not cause you to lose your way, but will expand your positive influence. Therefore, stop speaking about the future as though it can only repeat the past. Change the words you speak, not through empty declarations, but through faith accompanied by action. Say that you are learning to manage more wisely. Say that appropriate opportunities are becoming clearer to you. Say that you no longer make decisions from panic. Say that yesterday's scarcity cannot define what you will build tomorrow. Then live in agreement with those words. Complete your work faithfully. Seek the knowledge you need. Correct the habits causing unnecessary loss, and protect your heart from comparison. You do not need to compete with anyone else's journey. What has been given to another person does not reduce your portion, and their speed is not the measure of your progress. I am leading you out of the condition of merely surviving each day and into the ability to build a future upon a solid foundation. This journey may not be completed in a single night, but every wise decision is placing another firm stone. Do not despise small changes, an amount saved, a debt reduced, a skill learned, an opportunity recognized, or an unsuitable invitation declined. These things are signs that you are no longer standing still. I will not allow the years behind you to become meaningless. I will use your lessons, perseverance, and compassion to prepare you for a season in which resources will not merely come and disappear, but will be preserved, developed, and used for their proper purpose.